What is up, friends? We are back with another Xdefiant faction breakdown. Today we're going to be talking about Echelon, the super sneaky snakes that sneak around and flank everybody. Much like DeadSec, they are a flanker class. They're not so much the disruptors that DeadSec are as they are intel gatherers. So while you're running around the map, you are basically going to be, marking enemies for your teammates to kill, making big plays on objectives, things of that nature. And what's going to allow you to do that easier is our passive ability, which is low profile, and you don't appear on the minimap at all. So in this game, whenever you activate an ult, whenever you shoot a round from a gun, you will show up on your enemy's minimaps for about a full second, and then you'll disappear again. Echelon just ignores that entirely. Nothing that you do will ever show you on the map. There are actually even a couple of classes that I run without suppressors specifically for the Echelon play. So anytime that you're running around, you want to go on a crazy streak, Echelon's going to be that class to do it, because you just will not appear on the mini map at all for any reason. And it's a crazy ability, and it's good that it's a passive, because if this was an activated ability, I guarantee you no one would use this class. Our first ability comes in the form of the digital ghillie suit, and that renders your agent nearly invisible, and moving and aiming reduce the invisibility effect. So this in the beta was incredibly broken, so much so that they had to take the class out of the game until they figured out a way to balance it. So initially you would go completely invisible and wouldn't make any sounds, like just completely invisible. The game doesn't show you on enemy screens, right? Until you ADS and started shooting. And now what it does is kind of distorts your figure. So if you're up against like a white background or a really dark background and you're not moving, or if you're moving very slightly, you would be almost invisible, and people would have to kind of focus in and double check and make sure that like there's an actual person there. There's also a way to kind of hear it now. There's a little low hum that goes on when you're around, well, when you activate the ability and you're around enemies, and enemies can pick up on that, and that's really good to balance out, because like the ability says, you don't show up, the distortion effect doesn't go away until you ADS for real, or unless you're full sprinting, and then you kind of just look like a wireframe of your character, if that makes sense. But this is a great ability for aggressive modes, kind of like Hot Shot or TDM, just because there's nothing to really do except get kills, focus on kills and everything like that. Or you can hold an angle and make people second guess their eyesight, things of that nature. It's really good for the aggressive game modes, and I really like it. Although my personal preference is this next ability. Our second ability choice is the Intel suit, and what that does is shares the location of nearby enemies with our team. This ability is incredibly good. So basically what happens is you get wall hacks for about 15 seconds, a la if you played Apex Legends, it's similar to Bloodhound, or if you played Overwatch, it's kind of similar to Soldier's ability, where it just tells you where enemies are. This one does not require line of sight to be active. It does have a range, like a radius around it, but if they are in that radius, they are marked for 2 seconds through walls. The only counterplay is DeadSec or an EMP grenade, because it shuts down the suit. But this is incredible for just gathering like intel for the team. So like if you happen to be close to an enemy spawn, and it'll go off and ding enemies, and it's vertical as well. So like if they're above you or below you, it'll mark them on the map for your team. They can see them through walls for those 2 seconds that they're marked. And it allows for some crazy plays. Like this is the ability that most Echelon are going to want to run. Because like I said, as a flanker, you kind of want to know what's around you, where to go, who to hit. Incredibly good ability. I really think the only downside is it's got a bit of a longer cooldown at around 30 seconds, but I mean, if it didn't, then it'd be absolutely busted. So it's not even really a downside, it's just a balancing thing. But great ability, good range. You get wall hacks for 2 seconds. Fantastic ability. I have nothing bad to say. Rounding out the classes is the sonar goggles. Now, this ability, again, more wall hacks. So it reveals enemies and you can hunt them down with Sam Fisher's 5.7 pistol. So with this ability, again, it's a global ability. The only counterplay is a dead sec ult. It marks your enemies through walls wherever they are for the duration of the ultimate. Your screen turns green, your enemies are highlighted in red, and you just actively track them. Now your pistol is a one-shot kill up to about 8 meters, and then past that it's a 2-shot kill. So it does 70 damage a shot past the optimal range. If they're within 8 meters, it's 100 damage, like guaranteed. I'm sorry, 120 damage, because it also kills phantoms in one shot. So it's 120 damage up to 8 meters, and then past that you're doing 70 a shot, which is still crazy because you get 15 bullets per mag and you just run enemies down. It's so good. It's such a good ability. It's so funny. Like, you hear it, the enemy gets marked or the enemy gets pinged when you activate it, because there's no counterplay to it, so they have to at least know when it's happening, and you just tear through enemies, man. Like, it's so fun to run around with that ultimate. I misspoke earlier. I think I said you get 15. It's actually 10 shots. It's actually 10 shots. So my bad on that one. But basically you get 10 bodies in a clip, because it's just gonna absolutely melt anything you run up against it. And that rounds out the abilities for Echelon. I enjoy playing this class when we have an objective mode and there's no flankers. I still use DeadSec a good bit, but Echelon is right next to him, because I just like the ability to run around the map and never be seen. Essentially lets me it guarantees you a lot of room for mistakes, but it also lets you be super aggressive if you have the gun skill. And luckily for myself, I have the gun skill. So if you're looking for a class to flank with that just plays super aggressive, gather the intel for your team, Echelon is definitely going to be that class for you. But let me know in the comments what y'all think, how y'all feel about Echelon, what your favorite classes are, what y'all been using, and I'll see y'all in the next one. Peace.
You're in the hot seat. Get those bounties.
Oh, no, you fucking idiot! No! No! Oh my god, bro, we almost lost that because of you, gang!
Hey, look.
Elliot!
I didn't know you were there!
Elliot!
I didn't know you were there!
Elliot! Elliot!
I didn't know you were there, motherfucker!
Elliot!